Well, good morning. We're back in Middle Earth, and last time were on Miss Fistula, we were taking a look at the new Hobbit housing in Lyndelby. And, well, after a lot of looking around, poking into various houses, and, well, talking to Gus, because he got a say in the matter, we finally picked a house. So yay, Fistula finally has her very own home, and she has picked the address of 2 Glenmouth Path. So let's take a look at it. Right off the bat, we have something that I really wanted, was a stream running through the front of the property so that she can go fishing, because, well, hobbits love to go fishing, right? And she has put in a little dock over there. Of course, we have one of her horses in the stable. And you can't have a horse in the stable unless it has, you know, proper water and hay. So, he does. Now over here, we have her fishing poles and we have some of her catch drying. Very nice. She'll have quite a bit of dinner. And of course, a windmill and a barn. And on a side note, to the person or people that are selling the Hobbit barns on the auction house for dozens of gold, why? And people, don't buy those. Don't fall for it. They're at the Hobbit housing down here for like 20 silver a piece. Don't spend 26 gold on this. Okay? Alright, moving on. We have our own mini apple orchard here. It's only 2 trees, but that still counts as an orchard, right? And she has her one lone pig. Pig in a blanket. Get it? He's sleeping and dreaming. And she has her own little market stall because, of course, she sells her produce and chicken eggs and her cow's milk and honey, and that's what keeps up the house. And for the people who would like to stop and eat, well, she has the table under a gazebo for them, or if it's sunnier, they can sit at this littler one here. I mean, hobbits, you have to have food ready for them, right? Go back this way. We're getting a little bit of lag. Oh, yay. All right, can we stop that now? Thank you. Here's the cows. And this came from Bill Bartley, the Bingo Boffin vendor, and he was in Harwick, I think, to buy this. But, you know, if you have a proper working farm, you gotta have the cows for milk. Off in the corner, because I figure this is probably a very cold corner, we've put the snowball field, which does work. You can make snowballs and you can have snowball fights. There's the bees. Because, of course, I did say she sells her honey too. Little bitty shrew mouse house. And this is interactable. And it says it's been used to recently. Oh, there. There's the shrew that lives in the little house. I like to think that an elf friend came by and gave that to her as a thank you for hospitality. A well, and of course I put the well right next to the garden. So she's got some nice plants growing here. And this one is actually a working farming garden. So for any of my characters that can farm, which she is not one of them, they can come by and use that. A nice lovely bed of flowers. Oh, and let's say hello to Miss Marigold, who is our property guard. And that is Marigold Boffin. And if you click on her, well, she'll follow you around. And yes, before you say anything, I do know that it seems I patterned Miss Fistula off of Marigold. Not intentionally, but it happened. We have a Hobbit head sculpture, which I cannot remember where that came from. Then go up top. And we have a hammock for dozing on lazy days. We have a stage for, well, after dinner entertainment for your guests. And a fire pit, because, well, all that food down there doesn't cook itself. Now, we'll take a look. We'll open up decoration mode, and you can see there are a lot of hooks. Oh, including this enormous hook up here, which I kind of feel is wasted. I think would have rather seen two more large hooks, or a large hook and two more regular hooks up there. But that's a small complaint. And it's not even really a complaint, it's just a preference. But yeah, you can see all the hooks, and I think pretty much every single one of the regular yard hooks is in use. Most of the huge hooks, I don't think I've used any of the enormous hooks. Again, I know that there are decorations that use them. I'm just not really using them. And I would have preferred an option to just have more large or huge and regular hooks. And I don't know if this one's in use. I guess we'll find out. No, it's not. Like I said, there's like 3 or 4 enormous hooks, and I don't think I'm using a single one of them. But yeah, that is the exterior. And there is one thing right off the bat that I would really like to see happen for the housing. It's something I've noticed. You can't really tell when something is in a hook unless you click on it. And with so many hooks available, it is rather annoying to have to run around and click on everything until you find one that's free. So what I'd like to see is that when a hook is occupied with an item, it changes color. So you can see these are all green. And I would like to see, like, say, I know this one's in use. I'd like to see the hook itself change color to like orange or yellow, or, oh wow, this one's not in use. Oh, I have a hook free? You're kidding, right? Okay. That, I wouldn't have had to even ask that question if the hooks would change colors. So, yeah. If hooks changed color, depending on whether or not they were in use or not, that would be great. Make decorating so much easier. Alright, so we will go in here. And as you can see, we're slowly working on decorating this, and I cannot believe I'm about to say this, but I don't have enough decorations for this house. And that's even pulling together all the stuff I have off of various characters, buying stuff from the Hobbit vendor, even buying stuff from a couple other places. I don't have enough. I cannot believe it. I'm saying that. Okay, something that really, really, really annoys me. These doorways, these lips, I'm constantly having to jump through the door to get past them. So it needs to be lowered or scraped or something so that it's easier to get inside. And in here we have a guest room, because of course you have to have a guest room. And it can comfortably sleep 4. Yeah, the beds are different, but I may do it what I could find. And of course, if you have guests, you do have to put out the obligatory nibbles for them. Hobbits, after all. And over here, we're still working on the sitting room. And we have a little fireplace and the table of books, of course, a bookcase and more books. And in here, I'm planning on putting an office. Now, another thing I've noticed is that these little rooms, they don't have much in the way of decor hooks. So we got a wall hook and a furniture hook, and that's it. And I would really like to see at least one more furniture hook in here, because what I want to do is put a table, a chair, and maybe some sort of painting on the wall. It's still pretty sparse, but an extra hook would go a long way. And in here, we have, I believe this is going to be the formal dining room. So there's going to be a formal table here. If I still have the hooks for it, I might have to get rid of something yeah, I'm gonna have to get rid of something again. There's lots of hooks, but it's just still not enough. So I'm gonna put like a formal dining table here. I'll have to get rid of something in here to do that. And then off here, we're going to have a supplementary pantry. So it'll have a cupboard and a crate of vegetables or whatever I decide to put in there. And I really should turn this, but I'll wait. And this large area here, I've kind of turned it into the receiving room. So I guess the formal living room. And it's a little more done up than the rest. Some nice floor, some nice wall. The sky blue wall paint is probably my favorite in this house, and I'm looking for more of it. I think I should be able to make it. At least Gus said I should be able to make it. I'll have to check my scholars and see. We go down here, and we're working on this right now. And this is going to be another dining room and kitchen. A little more informal. A bunch of hobbits can get together, eat, cook. As you can see, we have a fireplace here, and we've already baked various loaves of bread. And each of these little tiny rooms here is a pantry. So pantry, pantry, pantry. That's only got a cupboard and some wine in it. And pantry with a in-league sinister keg, because of course. And go out here, and this is what really sold me on the house, is you have this little outdoor area. And isn't it gorgeous? Now, the actual flooring of the outdoor area is like stone or something. Let's see if I can There it is. So we'll take the floor surface off so you can see what it looks like. It's the same herringbone wood pattern as the rest of the house. But I want it to look like a proper outdoor area, so of course I put grass down. And another case of I would really like to see some more hooks, at least 2 more hooks out here. I think I've used up every hook except for maybe 1. And I'm not even sure about that. But this is all I've managed to put in here. So it's a little sparse. But yeah, a couple of wicker chairs to sit and look at the waterfalls. Basket of fish, because of course she fishes out here too. A couple of lamps, because, you know, it might get a little dark in here at night. You want the lamps. An elven fireplace from the same friend that gave her the shrew house. A little decorative wreath because she's all about the holidays, especially Yule. Oh, and of course, you can't have a house this big without a cat, or 2, or 3. But here's her sleeping brown cat, and he enjoys being out here. Now, back inside, oh yeah. And that just felt so right to put out here with the cat. Back inside, and as you can see, these lips are really annoying. So I really wish they would do something about that so we don't have to constantly jump over them to get through. And here we go this way, and this is her bedroom. As I said, she is all about the holidays. Here's her bed, and I think her bed is in the wrong place. Now, I know I did not move that. That is supposed to be, let's see if I can find the right, this one. It's supposed to be over here. All right, move that back up a tad. Move it over a tad. There. So that's where her bed's supposed to be. And that's something else I've noticed, that you set decorations, and even if you hit save, it won't save, and you end up with your decorations in weird places. Another cat. This is a ginger cat. And, well, it's her cat. That's why it's in here. And let's see. Yeah, all the hooks in here are in use too, and as you can see, it feels kind of sparse. Really need another hook or 2. Now here, we have a very large room that we have actually bought a divider to make it a little smaller. There are a couple problems with this room I'd like to point out. One, the dividers are great, but the wainscoting on it does not match the wainscoting of the walls that it's supposed to go with. So let me raise it up. And as you can see, the wainscoting on the false wall is man-sized. Yet the wainscoting on the wallpaper next to it is hobbit-sized. So if you want it to even remotely match, you have to lower it. And then it still doesn't look right. So I'd like to see them fix the graphics for the fake walls so that the wainscoting matches the wallpaper wainscoting. And we're actually using the fire pit to put this wall in, because this fire pit is about useless for anything else. I have tried multiple different fire pits in here, including the laden banquet table, because originally this was supposed to be the dining hall, but anything you put in it ends up being so big that you end up with it from wall to wall, blocking this doorway altogether. And it's kind of a wasted space. So that would be really great if things scaled better or the fire pit itself was smaller. And here we have another room, which is, well, we've barely started working on it, so it does have space for other things right now. I just don't have any things to put in it. Another thing about these fake walls is I'd like to see them either be paintable so that they match like the wall. Say if I wanted to put up a different wallpaper, then this wall would no longer match this wall at all. I'd like to either see them in some different styles, or say if they're next to a wall and it has a certain pattern, that the fake wall takes on the same pattern so that it matches. If that made sense. It did to me. So, yeah, I did have a few minor complaints. And the biggest one probably being these doors and constantly having to jump through them to get from place to place. Oh, and there's the other cat. And he is a white shirt cat. And he takes care of the front of the house. So, between 3 cats, there is not a mouse in sight. Okay, one more thing, and this is more of an aesthetic gripe. These windows do not make any sense. Pick one or the other, not all of them. You either pick to put the half circles in, or pick to put the round ones in, but these stacked windows are kind of aesthetically ugly, you know? Aside from that, I have to say this house in general had the best layout of all the houses I looked at. Again, that little cove in the back definitely got my attention and made this one a must-buy. The huge yards are great, and they do look gorgeous. I have no complaint about the yard. And as you can see, I made it look like a little, well, proper working farm. Almost that little hamlet. I mean, I don't know. She almost has her own town. What should she name it? There's a thought. So yeah, I am very pleased with my purchase, and I did not have to spend a single cent. I sold off one of my 2 premium Rohirrim houses because I have a mead hall and I had a deluxe which I was not using at all, so I sold that back. And then I was still short some writs, so I just went ahead and used the LOTRO points that I've been saving up from subscription and covered the rest of the cost. And I do believe altogether this was 27 Rits. So it's not a cheap house, especially not for a deluxe. But it's not a regular deluxe, it is a stately deluxe. Anyway, I do believe we're done with our little tour. And if you want one of these stately deluxe houses at 2 Glenmouth Path, I would suggest get moving on it, because by the time I had decided on it, and it was only a couple of days after the neighborhood came out, there were only 3 of these houses left in all the neighborhoods available. So it is super duper popular, and yeah, if you want one, don't sit on it. You probably won't get one otherwise. And until next time, bye for now.